Welcome to the Garage Movement Podcast. Garage Movement is for those who don't need or want a fancy gym. We want to be fit and still be a good mom, a good dad, a good husband, wife, grandma, grandpa, etc. We value our health and lead by example. We are action takers. We find solutions, not excuses. We focus on the positives and not the negatives. We make health and fitness a priority, and we will do whatever it takes to become a better version of ourselves. We can do it at home, on our own time, no matter the circumstances. No excuses. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Garage Movement Podcast. This is Coach Marty. Today, we have a special guest today to talk to us about the art of juggling family, career, and fitness. So welcome to the podcast, Coach Jacki Sulzer. Jacki has been in the health coaching industry for the last 12 years and is one of our coaches at my gym, Crooked River CrossFit, going on 7 years now. She's helped us out a ton, onboarding members, coaching classes, and many other things to help keep the gym run smoothly. So, and when I started Garage Movement a little over a year ago, she's helped me from the start, getting everything going, a lot of the admin and the back end stuff. So she's been a huge, huge help with that as well. So I'm going to turn this over to Jacki, and she's going to talk about the art of juggling family, career, and fitness.
Thank you so much, Marty, for having me today. Like Marty said, my name is Jacki. I live in the Cleveland area with my family. So I have a husband, and we currently have 5 kids. We're foster parents, so we have a little foster baby with us. We've had her for about 3 months now. And I have 4 kids who are with us all the time, 2 adopted and 2 bio children. So we are really busy. And 2020 has been a rough year, as I imagine most of you guys have felt that way, with managing all of the things and being in the house all the time. So my husband's been working from home, and the kids have been schooling from home, and it's just been kind of a lot to manage and handle. And this idea of balancing everything, family and career and fitness, is something I'm really passionate about, because I think it's really important that we learn how to do that and do it well, so we can enjoy, our life. And so as I was, thinking about this topic, I came across something on social media. So this isn't my idea. I did read it on someone's page, and this person had spoken with the author, Nora Roberts, and she writes romance novels. If you're into that kind of thing, I had to Google her to figure out who she was. But this lady asked Nora Roberts, she said, "How do you balance your writing career and kids?" And Nora had said that, the way she juggles everything is she kind of identifies the things that she's juggling that are glass balls and the things that are plastic balls. And she said that if something is a plastic ball and she drops it, it's going to bounce and everything will be fine. But if she drops one of her glass balls that she's juggling, that's going to break, and things are not going to be okay. And I thought that was such a great analogy, and it really got me just thinking about, what are glass and plastic balls in our life. And I want to talk a little bit about that today. And it's not like big categories. So we're not going to say, family's a glass ball and work's a glass ball, but, this is plastic. What I want to do is kind of talk about, glass and plastic balls within those categories. And so we're going to look at, family, fitness, and career, and identifying, plastic and glass balls in each of those categories. Okay. So I'll give you some examples here from my personal life, right? So from a work standpoint, some plastic balls I have in work. Like Marty said, I do a lot of administrative work for the gym and things for Garage Movement. And that stuff's important, but if like one day I don't get it done, it's not like a huge deal. I have so much time to, get that accomplished. But in work, some glass balls that I have are like really specific appointments. I train clients at certain times, and making sure I'm there and I'm able to do that. That is a glass ball. I can't drop that on that day when I have that appointment. Some examples for family, like I I have kids, and their school, they have something like a spirit week, right? Which is kind of the end of me as a mom, because I'm not organized and I hate it. And the kids have to wear like different clothes compared to their normal uniforms. And it's just like chaos, like figuring that out. So that's a plastic ball to me. Like, it's important. The kids should, honor Spirit Week and all that. But if we don't get dressed on Spirit Day, it's not like the end of the world. If I happen to drop that ball that day, it's okay. But a glass ball in my family is we have, family dinner with my in-laws every Tuesday, and it's just like a really important thing. And so I try to make a point to not work on Tuesday nights. I try not to have clients and things like that. And if I end up juggling too much and I drop that ball, that kind of has repercussions, right? Like, if I miss family dinner, especially on a regular basis, that's not a good thing. And so kind of looking through like your work and your family and your and fitness, and thinking about, what are glass balls in my career? What are things that are really important that I can't let drop, right? And I think in 2020, we're in this really weird place where a lot of people are working from home, right? Because I see this in my husband all the time. And there's this like mix of like work and home, and we're having trouble putting down plastic work balls, and our lives are being consumed with work because we're working from home, and we're allowing ourselves to like juggle those plastic work balls at the expense of dropping maybe a family or a fitness glass ball. And so I think especially now it's important to kind of look at, what in work is really important that you have to accomplish, and where can you say, you know what, this is going to be here still tomorrow. It's okay if I don't accomplish it. It's okay if I push it off. And really creating that balance, and having that work-life balance, especially if you've been working remotely for the greater part of 2020. So identifying those are just really important. When it comes to fitness, you're probably trying to think like, how do you have a plastic fitness ball, right? How do you have a glass fitness ball? And the way I look at that for myself is, fitness is really important to me. And so for me, I try to work out 4 times a week. That's my goal. That's where I'm at in life. And, those 4 days that I work out, those are I call them glass ball days. I have to work out on those days. It's not negotiable. If I were to drop that ball that day, I would be, not happy. I probably wouldn't feel that great. The other 3 days a week, my fitness that day is a plastic ball. If I don't get it in, that's okay. If I get it in, that's awesome. But it's just like a bonus, right? And so that's for me how I identify fitness in glass and plastic balls. Sometimes fitness needs to be glass. It needs to be important. It needs to be prioritized. Because it's important to your health. And we're going to talk a little bit more at the end of this as to why that is. Why should fitness be a glass ball? But what I kind of want to talk about next is, after you've sort of thought through or are thinking through, what are the glass and plastic balls in your life, in work and family and all that stuff, think about, how do we catch them, right? So we're juggling them, and you probably feel like you've been juggling all the things, for the last 10 months and don't see too much of an end in sight here. So how do we catch our glass balls as we continue to juggle? And I'm kind of going to give you 3 things here to help you out in finding ways to make sure you are catching, those glass balls. You are holding on to those important things, right? And so the first thing that you need in order to be catching your glass balls is time, okay? So none of us can add more time to our day. We all have 24 hours, so we can't get any more time in. However, we can be more efficient with our time and use it more wisely, right? So there's kind of 2 categories here, right? There's the way we waste time on like social media and Netflix, and that's a big problem, and a lot of people know that about themselves. And if you don't know that about yourself, look at your screen time usage on your phone. It's a very interesting report. Sometimes it's like so much you didn't even realize you were on your phone that often. But look at that. If you have a couple hours a day spent on the phone or 2 hours spent scrolling Facebook, you didn't run out of time in your day to get your workout in. You just didn't use your time wisely, right? And so I think, looking through that and being honest with yourself, are you not being efficient with your time? And that's why you're dropping these glass balls. It's because you're not using your time wisely, right? So that's one way to kind of get more time in your day, is to use your time more wisely. The other way is to outsource things to people. And so my husband and I do this a lot. We didn't always. When we were first married and we didn't have children, we did everything by ourselves, all the things, because we had, all the time, right? But now that we have kids, our time is super, super valuable to us because we only have so much time with our kids when we're not working and they're not in school. And we don't want to be spending it doing, mundane tasks around the house, right? So we outsource a lot of things. We have someone cut our lawn, which, sounds super simple. I guess we could accomplish it, right? But it would take us probably 2.5 hours on like a weekend, which would take away from family time. And so for us, we kind of outsource and pay someone to do that. So we have more time, so we can juggle more, glass family balls. There's lots of other things like that you can outsource, whether it be, grocery shopping is a big one, and getting someone to clean your house or help you with maintenance of things. I understand that can cost money, right? Not everyone has that luxury. But it's so important to us that we budget for that. Grocery shopping is a perfect example. I do go to the grocery store a fair amount. However, I will pay $10 for Instacart to send groceries to my house if that means I don't have to take my kids with me to the store, and I can save, the hour-and-a-half trip. Plus, especially now with, COVID going on, the chaos of taking children into the store and them touching all the things and having to wear masks and all that. It's just too stressful to me that I'll pay the $10, sometimes even $20 for the groceries to be dropped off and save my time that way. And so think about those things. In our work life, we so easily are willing to delegate our tasks to other people, right? But we can definitely do that in our personal life too. So take a look at your personal life and figure out where are the things you can start delegating these tasks, whether it be, to a paid source, like a lawn person, or even your own children, right? So I'm not saying your children should do all your tasks, but I do believe in them doing chores and things like that. So are there tasks that you're holding onto that they can do to give you more time, right? As the parent, whether it's simple things like folding laundry or emptying dishwashers, all of those little mundane things that take time. How can you let other people do that so you can get some time back in your day to accomplish some of your glass balls, right? So that's our first step, is find more time by eliminating, mindless use of our time and outsourcing other things. Our second way that we make sure we catch our glass balls is to bring on board whoever lives with us, right? So if this is a significant other or a parent or just your children, whoever's in your household with you, they need to be on board with what your glass balls are, right? So my husband, he's awesome. I would not be able to do all the things I do without him. He's very supportive of me and what I do. And, we communicate a lot about the glass balls of our day in the beginning of the day or even the night before, especially now that he's working from home. I'll ask him, like, what does your day look like tomorrow? I have X, Y, and Z at these times, or I have to get a kid here at this time, and all of that stuff. So we know, what are the glass balls in each other's day, and how can we help the other person make sure they can, catch that glass ball. And that's so important, is to have someone that's not only supporting you, but also knows, right? You might be getting frustrated with a significant other because you feel like you're juggling all these balls and they're not, juggling any balls, but you may not have told them that you need help juggling, right? So if you haven't had the conversation with them, that's a really good starting point, is to kind of sit down and say, you know what, these are the important things I'm doing right now, and I could really use your help getting them accomplished. For me, fitness really falls into this. So in order for me to get my workouts in, because I have kids, I do have to do it after they're asleep, which doesn't work for me because I go to bed shortly after them. So it's usually sometime during their waking hours. And so I need to tell my husband, you know, this is important. This is a glass ball. When do you have 30 minutes? When do you have half an hour for me to exercise today? You know, I have a gym in my garage, use garage movement, and, you know, I can get it done really fast, but I do need that dedicated time. And so we talk about that, and we make sure, you know, we're meeting each other's needs that way. So again, if you haven't talked with your significant other, or you feel like they're not supportive of you in this area, I would encourage you to at least just sit down and have the conversation. Maybe not, you know, you don't have to tell them all the things at one time, but, you know, pick a couple things that are important, a couple of glass balls that you're like, you know what, I'm having a really hard time juggling these, and I need your help to do that, and just have that conversation to kind of move that forward, okay? So our third thing to kind of help us catch our glass balls is going to be to plan. And so planning on two levels, planning on a macro level and a micro level. So what I mean by that on a macro level is, you know, big picture, looking at the week, you know, what are the important things you have going on? So I'll look at my calendar and I'll look at, you know, on Sunday, like what appointments do the kids have, you know, for the week coming up? I have a lot of foster appointments. So like what, you know, court hearings are there and all that kind of stuff that I need to make sure like I am at. They're very important glass balls I can't drop. Micro level, right? My husband and I will discuss that. I'll put it on the calendar, have a general idea of what the week's going to look like. Also look at, you know, what are the plastic balls that would be really cool to get in during the week too. Because we don't want to just plan for our glass balls, right? Like the plastic balls are important things, but they're just, if that you don't end up getting to them, it's okay, right? And then also planning at the micro level. So what I mean by that is, you know, Sunday you looked at the week, you kind of made sure you had all the important things down. Well, then Monday morning you re-look at the day, right? So now that it's Monday, has anything changed? What's going on this day? You know, I'll talk to my husband. Again, this is what I have. Remember, these are all my appointments. What does your day look like? Oh, and by the way, today, you know, is a fitness day for me. When can I get my workout in? And I'll plan not only like what time I'm going to do it, but like where I'm going to do it. Sometimes I go up to the gym and work out. Sometimes I work out in my garage. It just depends on my day. But I always know like when I'm going to do fitness before I even usually get up that day. I'll know the day before. I'll have a complete idea of what my day is going to look like. It's so planned out. And I know when fitness is going to get in. And that's how I don't drop fitness, my fitness ball, is because I make it a priority in planning my day. So it's not just, oh, when I get to work out, or oh, when I get to fitness eventually today. It's no, you know what, I have an hour in between X and Z, and that's when I'm going to do it. So if you don't plan your day like that yet, I'd highly encourage you to try. You don't have to be a planner. I am not type A at all. I'm super unorganized. I've tried every planner known to man that like you write things down in, and nothing helps me, and I fall off course writing it down after a few weeks. So I just use my phone, and I put like reminders in my calendar, and they alert me on my Apple Watch, and it works great. And that's what works best for me, because I usually forget until I get the reminder on my Apple Watch that I have, you know, an event going on. And so I would just encourage you, take time to like plan like that. Put everything in a calendar, write it down. So you have those important things, and you're more likely to get to them and accomplish them. Okay, so we kind of talked about, you know, these three ways we can make sure we catch our glass balls, right? So having, the time by delegating or outsourcing things, bringing our significant other on board to what we're doing, right? And then also planning our day. And it's going to make sure we're more likely to catch our glass balls, whatever they are, work or fitness or family, and getting all that in. So I feel like, a lot of you probably are following me on this in a sense where you have some important family things and work things that you're like, you know what, I do have to make sure I get those done. I have to get those in. But I may have lost you in the sense where you're wondering, why is fitness, a glass ball, right? Because I think a majority of people don't classify it that way. And that is why people struggle with their health and fitness, right? Is because it's not a glass ball to them. It's not a priority. It's not important. It's like a second rate thing. So like if I get around to it, maybe I'll get it in. And they make it out to be like this thing that's so hard and challenging to get in their day, when really, when you look at like how much time you have in your day, it's not that much time. It's not that hard to keep that ball from dropping. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit about why fitness is important to me. Like, why do I make it a glass ball? And, I've been doing regular fitness, not CrossFit. I've been CrossFitting for around 7 years. But I've been doing regular fitness for probably about the last 10 years. So what I mean by that is some kind of workout regimen, at least 4 times a week. And so it's a very regular part of my life. So if I don't do fitness, if I don't exercise, I really can feel like the physical effects of it. I feel sick. I'll be really tired. I get super irritable, and my husband's a great testament to that. Like if it's been more than like a day and then things start irritating me and I get like really like snappy and stressed, if I don't exercise, and I can feel it's like effect on like my hunger and my appetite, just like my whole body is like thrown off if I don't exercise. And so that's why fitness is such an important thing to me, because I know how good I feel when I do work out. And so it's not necessarily about like losing weight and all this stuff, but it's about making my body feel the best that it can. And I know it can feel its best when I'm like exercising on a regular basis. And so that's why I prioritize fitness. A really recent example. So I've been really sick, and, I haven't worked out for like 9 days because of that. But my body was feeling like super achy. It had this like pain in my back, and I was like, I know it's because I'm not moving my body, right? So even though I was sick, I was like, I need to do something to get my body start moving forward back to where I know it'll be. And moderate exercise has a good immune response, meaning your body, when it's sick, if you do some light exercise, it's going to help the immune response, making you get better faster. But not intense exercise, that decreases the immune response. So if you're sick, the high intensity is probably not the way to go. And that's not what I did today. I just moved, right? Crash Movement actually has a program called That Just Move. And it's really exactly what I did. I picked 3 movements and I worked through 10 reps of them. And I did that 5 times at a really slow pace. I wasn't trying to get out of breath or anything like that. I was just trying to move my body because I know how important fitness is to my body. And I did that, and I felt really good after. I started feeling like, all right, cool, this is probably the best I've felt in the last 9 days. And even though I'm still sick, that was a good choice, right? And so fitness, if you've never seen it that way, I would encourage you to kind of like take inventory of your life and commit to like 30 days of fitness and see how it changes, see how it makes you feel. So 30 days of fitness as a glass ball, right? And do something each day, whether it's following something like Garage Movement. Again, we have that Just Move track like I did this morning, something very easy just to get your body moving, to, our more high intensity programming. But I think you'll notice a difference in how you feel helping you kind of create fitness as a glass ball by the end of those 30 days. All right, so to kind of sum up here, right, our life is full of choices, our fitness, our work, our career, family, and we can kind of break those all down into, you can call them priorities or not priorities, or you can call them glass balls and plastic balls. And it's important for us to assess, what is glass and what is plastic, and how can we keep juggling the balls and make sure we don't drop the glass ones. Sift through your time and get people on board, start getting some systems in place, trying to get organized, get planning, so you can really move forward, with all the things that you want to accomplish. If you guys want some more help on this topic, or you're not sure even, where to start when it comes to this, I love talking about it. I'd love to help you out. We have a free Facebook group for Garage Movement. It's called CrossFit WODs at Home Garage Movement. So you guys can join that, and we can help you out with more tips and tricks there.
Awesome, Jackie. Well, yeah, I appreciate you coming on this podcast. I've heard you talk about this glass balls versus plastic balls before, and I really love the concept. So that's why I wanted you to come on here and talk about it. I really encourage you guys to, do some homework and take some notes and write down what your glass balls are that really mean a lot to you, and write down your plastic balls and get yourself organized. Really try this out. If you guys just listen to this and then you don't take action, it's not going to help you out very much. So I encourage you guys today to do that and give it a shot and stay organized and do it on a regular basis, because obviously there's going to be times where your glass balls and your plastic balls are going to change. Your priorities are going to change. So it's important to do it on a regular basis to constantly remind yourself what you have going on, be able to plan out your day like Jackie said. So but again, I love that concept, and I hope you guys got something out of it. So anyways, we're going to end it there. I appreciate you guys listening, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. If you're looking to better yourself and start working out, or maybe you want to switch things up and work out from home, then I want to invite you to try Garage Movement free for 14 days. With Garage Movement, you're going to get an app that delivers you daily workouts, even if you're a beginner. We also have options if you have zero equipment, a full home gym, or anything in between. To get your 14-day free trial, visit garagemovement.com today. Thanks for listening to the Garage Movement Podcast. This is Coach Marty, and I'll catch you in the next one.